I'm not going to mince words with y'all right now. It is an absolute shitstorm in Houston. I was very optimistic going into this Saturday up against the Kansas City Chiefs. I had very high spirits after this wild card win where the Texans, defied everybody, the NFL media. Everybody out there was thinking the Texans were going to lose up against the Chargers. And now it's just an absolute wheels are falling off the wagon. The Texans have released Diontae Johnson after claiming him in Week 17. And I am absolutely fired up about this right now. I cannot put into words how upset I am right now with this individual. Because what should be a very exciting, a very hopeful week for the Houston Texans, our fans, everybody inside that locker room, has now turned into we have to focus on this asshole and what he's doing to this team in a very important week for the Houston Texans. So I want to hear your words right now. Go down, give me your one-word reaction to Diontae Johnson being cut. I'll tell you what I have to say after this YouTube ad break. But right now, I am just so pissed off. If you get hit with the YouTube ad, perfect timing. Scroll on down and give me your answer. Selfish. Diontae Johnson is 100% selfish. The fact that you're on a team that is in the playoffs and you decide to pull some bullshit. What is going through your mind, Diontae Johnson? Your team, the team you're on, the team that you said you're so hopeful to be a part of, you're so excited to work with CJ Stroud, everything out of your mouth was absolute BS. Because if you're not happy about your team winning in the wild card round because you only had one catch for 12 yards, you are an absolute piece of shit. I can't believe that the Texans gave you another shot. Everybody in the office, everybody that I talked to here at Chat Sports said, man, you don't know what you're getting yourself into with Diontae Johnson. He's had a really rough, bumpy road through the past 2 seasons. I said, you know what? D'Amico Ryans, this culture, maybe I'm just like one of those girls in a Hallmark movie where I was like, maybe I can fix him. And you know what? We couldn't, because you're an absolute piece of shit who only cares about himself. I can't believe D'Amico Ryans, CJ Stroud, this whole team put their trust in you, and you turn back around when we need you the most, and you pull this absolute garbage. I mean, come on. Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now with this shit? Because the Texans, obviously, they are battered and bruised along the wide receiver room. And hell, you could have gotten even more targets this week going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. But now, since you want to be a me guy, since all you care about is your goddamn self, now we're running with 4 wide receivers on the depth chart. Nico Collins, Xavier Hutchinson, Robert Woods, and John Metchie. And honestly, at this point, I'd rather just run with 4 if you're going to act like this and not be a team player for the Houston Texans when we have the opportunity to go to the AFC Championship game for the first time in franchise history. And leading up to the game, this is what we have to deal with. We're not talking about game plan. We're not talking about scheme. We're not talking about anything else but some 30-something-year-old acting like he's a 12-year-old out there because he's not a man and not a professional. That's what we're dealing with right now. So now the Texans have 2 open roster spots, which I'll get into that part later on because the bad news doesn't stop at that end. But now we have to add one of these guys, either Jaxon Janke, Johnny Johnson III, Xavier Johnson, or Jared Wayne from the practice squad, elevate them to the active roster, or hope that we can sign somebody else off the streets in short notice. That's where we are at this moment. That's just what it is. I'll break down more about this, my final thoughts around Diontae Johnson, but got to show some love to today's sponsor of the program in Prize Picks. Get started today. All you got to do, choose 2 or more players from any sport, go more or less on their projected stat types, and place your entry. It's as easy as that, folks, and it's playoff time. So if you want to maybe win some money while watching the Houston Texans, hey, Diontae Johnson, maybe you could get on Prize Picks because I don't think you're going to be earning any money from any football action other than fantasy in your future. So go ahead and get started with Prize Picks today, Diontae. Use code CLNS. You'll get $50 instantly when you play $5, Diontae. Just go ahead. Go over on Prize Picks because you're not making any more money in the NFL. You're not making any more money playing football. So might as well get yourself started with the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. I made this lineup before the news came out. CJ Stroud more on the rushing yards. I also went Nico Collins more on the rushing and receiving touchdowns. I also sprinkled in some other games in there as well during the divisional round. So, Diontae, maybe take a screenshot of my lineup because you'll probably need it because you're not playing football anymore. Get started with Prize Picks today. Like I said, $50 instantly when you play $5. Just use that code CLNS. Prize Picks. Run your game. Oh, my God, Diontae, I am just so fired up and fed up right now. I mean, at this point, it's like you're a child, and I'm just disappointed. And at this point, I would say Johnson's NFL career is all but over. If you can't make it work with the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans, honestly, two locker rooms that around the NFL are known for having pretty good continuity, having pretty good locker room vibe, locker room presence, good leaders. Both those teams. And you can't make it in either of those situations because you're a me guy. You're a name on the back instead of a name on the front. And that's okay in certain situations, but know your role. Know your place. You're a second or third wide receiver. And you want to act like a diva, go ahead and be on CTE ESPN. Go work with Antonio Brown because that's where you belong. You don't belong on the football field. You don't belong on an NFL team. Pulling shit like this? No, I wouldn't trust you. I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole if I was another NFL team. Hell, if I was in the UFL, if I was in the XFL, if I was in the Canadian Football League, if I was in the Australian Football League, I wouldn't sign your ass. Because I don't want any of that negativity. I don't want any of that, I didn't get a catch. I only got one target. Get out of here, you 7-year-old with a 6-year-old's mentality. I am tired. I don't want to even hear the name Diontae Johnson another time in my life. I'm done with that. I'm not going to say his name anymore because he doesn't deserve another breath out of me. So let's talk about some more bad news for our Houston Texans. Tight end Cade Stover, who actually had a good game and was happy that his team won this past weekend. 4 receptions, 28 yards, placed on IR. The rookie out of Ohio State will not be playing for the Houston Texans on Saturday, and the hits just keep on coming. So now the Texans have 2 open roster spots. I was looking on the practice squad. I was looking at what the Texans could possibly do. Obviously, they have Irv Smith Jr. along with Dalton Schultz. As I'm looking at the practice squad right now, I mean, the only name that really stands out to me is Andrew Beck, the fullback, or Troy Hairston, the fullback, having them as a tight end fullback hybrid. You also have running backs Jawar Jordan and J.J. Taylor if you want another, maybe add a running back wide receiver threat in that instance. But, I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know what the Texans do going into Saturday with these 2 guys not on the team anymore. I'm upset. I'm pissed off. And you should be too. But no matter what happens with this team, the good and the bad, the pretty, the ugly, and everything in between, I'm bringing you content. I'm bringing you videos, and that's why you hit that sub button for Texans news and rumors all year long. No matter what the case is, you know Jeremy Chuggs has you covered. So go down, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications for the latest Texans news and rumors.